Senate Republican Roger Wicker serves on as ranking member of the Senate Armed Services Committee. Senator, nice to see you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
In person. Good morning here. I mean, what is your sense of where Republicans are on this, or maybe the wider Senate,
I think
whether or not to grant them that money?
We have a package that needs work, but I think we can get it done. We need to make sure the southern border part is border security and not sanctuary city money. We need to make sure of that. I think somebody else in the world needs to handle the humanitarian aid in Gaza, not the United States taxpayers.
Why would that be?
Well, because I don't have any confidence that Hamas would let the humanitarian aid actually get to the right people. And there's a very strong likelihood it would go to help our sworn enemies.
Yeah, just to be specific on that, how much of the billion is humanitarian aid for Gaza? Well, because I've got $9 billion for Israel, Gaza, and Ukraine on the humanitarian.
We're going to have to scrub those numbers. This came out on a Friday, and we're still scrubbing it. But we need to make sure that the southern border is border security, and we need to make sure that taxpayer dollars aren't going to help Hamas get credit for feeding the needy.
Senator Cotton, I think, agrees with you. He says that President Biden's slush fund proposal is dead on arrival, just like his budgets. We will not spend, for example, $3.5 billion to address the, quote, potential needs of Gazans, especially functioning as a resupply line for Hamas terrorists. So that might be where that ends up going.
Right, and I totally agree with him. Of course, he's a very valuable member of the Armed Services Committee, but he makes a good point there. That money needs to come from the international community.
Right.
We need to give money to help our steadfast ally defeat Hamas and prevent further terrorism in the Middle East.
When you say the border security money needs to be for border security, can you just give us like 3 examples? Like what would that actually be?
Okay, well,
and what is that? How does that differ from what President Biden thinks of as border security money?
Well, one thing we need to do is to help finish the wall, and actually, I have legislation called the Finish It Act. And what I found out on my last trip to the border is we have these huge sections already manufactured for the wall. Our government has been paying people to store those sections rather than put up the section of the wall that we already have. This is miles and miles and miles of wall. And this is now part of the Armed Services Committee. The Senate passed National Defense Authorization Act. We got a couple of Democrats to support us, and that's in the bill that we're negotiating with the House right now. So the administration has actually, in response to that, been taking those sections of the wall and selling them off as basically Army surplus for pennies on the dollar.
Yep.
So one thing we need to do is insist that these sections that have already been paid for, already manufactured, and are ready to go, be either erected by the United States or given to the states that will build their part of the wall.
I want to pause there for a moment. We know the story well because we're the network that's been covering the border for the last 2.5 years.
Absolutely.
You're asking a Democratic president to reverse himself entirely and continue construction of the wall that was suspended 3 years ago.
We are being the co-equal legislative body of the United States government, according to the Constitution, who has the power of the purse. And I could just tell you, Republicans and Democrats in the House and Senate have voted for this provision of the Finish It Act. And you know, if the president was trying to give lip service a couple of weeks ago to building sections of the wall, I'll just tell him there are sections we've already paid for, get them put up. And if he refuses to do it and refuses to abide by the NDAA as it's passed and that he will have to sign, then we need to exercise our oversight responsibility.
Just want to be clear on all this. If you got what you wanted on border security, would you get the money for Israel? Would you get the money for Ukraine? Would that pass in the current composition of this Congress?
I think it would. I think it would. Listen, the Ukrainian soldiers are doing our work for us. Russia is our sworn enemy. Vladimir Putin is a threat not only to Ukraine but to NATO and the surrounding countries. They're doing our work for us, and they're winning. They destroyed 50 tanks last Friday. 50 Russian tanks last Friday. They're not asking a single American soldier to go over there and fight. And we have a treaty obligation dating back to 1994 to help them. The same with Israel. They are a 75-year ally of ours. They're not asking for us to go over there and fight. They just need the resources to defeat these brutal Hamas terrorists who came in, and as you know, it's hard to talk about the unspeakable violence they visited on women and children and civilians.
Sir, thank you for being here. I think you got an uphill fight, but we'll see whether that is successful. Thank
Bill,
you, Senator.
I think Republicans and Democrats have a majority for the good parts of this package.
Thank you,
All right,
sir.
the fight to come. All right, thank you, Senator. Good to have you.
Thank you, Senator.